And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Sorry for the short notice here tonight, but we have a very special guest with us. If you didn't see in the thumbnail, Mr. Eric Zombro's mother will be joining us tonight and giving us a little bit of an insight into the crazy, wacky world of the medical field. Um, we've kind of gotten a little bit of a touch on some of the stories that she's encountered. Some of the more ridiculous ones, of course, were what we were going for to kind of make light of the situation tonight, because it's been a tragic month, right? We've talked about a lot of ungodly, unspeakable things this past month, and I thought, a couple of stories from somebody who's seen probably more than any of us will ever see in our lifetimes or 10 lifetimes. And we thought, it'd be nice to have her share it with you guys. And let me say hi to everybody in the chat first, of course. Mr. D Man, of course, thank you for coming, sir. JR, Mr. Hemi, Brother Jay, hopefully your connection clears up soon. Mr. Outlaw, and Tom. Always a pleasure to have you guys. And Silver Bullet, hello, sir. Haven't seen you in a while. And of course, we've got the legendary Johnny Midnight. Hello, sir. We will get to our stream together too. And so don't take that off your list. And of course, Mr. One Fast Act just joined us. Hello, sir. So, again, guys, sorry for the short notice. We are going to touch on it a little later about the tragic school shooting that went down in Texas and the new information that's been coming out here today. And well, we're going to get an inside view on that later from Eric's point of view as a former police officer and the absolute ludicrous actions that the police took in that situation. So, but before we go into that, of course, I want to introduce my guest tonight, Mr. Eric Zombro, and his mom, Cynthia. Hello, everyone. Eric, are you with us? Eric? Well, apparently, we're still waiting on Eric. They are not having the greatest connection right here, right now. So they might be a bit delayed. It could get a little robot-y, but we will try to get her stories through. So, are you guys there?
We're here.
Can you hear me?
We can. Hello.
Hello.
So, Cynthia, right?
Yes.
How long did you work at the hospital in New York City?
15 years.
15 years. So you've definitely compiled a few interesting moments out of those 15 years, and you worked at St. Mercy's, right?
St. Vincent's.
Or St. Vincent's, my apologies.
That's
Not
okay.
from the area. No. So, Cynthia, Eric mentioned to me last night while we were talking after a stream that you had told him some pretty crazy stories that had come out of the hospital, and I was hoping you could share a bit of the insight as to what goes on there and some of the more hilarious moments that you've seen. So now he mentioned to me about a doctor actually getting stuck while performing a rectal unpacking, I believe it's called.
Yes. He worked in the emergency room, and he
Please.
didn't put the lubricant on. You know, the jelly.
Mhm.
He didn't. For some reason, he rushed in, and then he couldn't get it. So they had to put lubricant up the side with syringes, and they finally got his arm out.
So
It was embarrassing.
so this rectal unpacking has to be done by hand, and we're talking like whole hand up to the forearm, right?
Yes, they usually use gloves and a lubricant, but he forgot his lubricant.
I
So
didn't even think
he had trouble.
I didn't even think it was possible to get anything in there without lubricant. Oh my god. So I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
You'd be surprised.
Apparently
You'd be surprised what can go
yeah, hey, I have been surprised at what people stick up their ass for a long time. It never ends.
Right.
So So to go into the details of this story and how this all started. So if you don't mind, just like start to finish, give us the layout.
Well, a patient came into the emergency room with his mother, and he came in and he couldn't walk really well. And he explained to the doctor what happened, and the doctor went in to alleviate his problem. He said he couldn't go to the bathroom. Well, believe you me, by the time the doctor was finished, he went to the bathroom. He had he had his arm up his ass. He had lubricant up his ass. He had everything up his ass, and it finally all came out. And I believe you me, I think he used stool softener after that.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was
Not like. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Cynthia.
no, I'm just saying it's amazing. And then I had two men who were of the gay persuasion who had put a carrot up their ass, and the one guy pushed it up, but he pushed it up so far that he couldn't pull it out. So he had to come into the emergency room, and he had to go up to the operating room for a procedure to get the carrot out. It wasn't by any kind of forceps or anything. They had to go in and get it.
Oh my God.
But people
So
are
they
stupid. You can't believe what they do to themselves.
Oh, we're
You
starting
wouldn't
to
believe
learn.
what they do to themselves.
We're starting to learn, and this is where it's very educational because we have seen things on the internet. Everything from mason jars to light bulbs get rammed up people's rear ends.
Right.
And we don't know if a lot of it is true or if a lot of it is faked. I mean, you don't know. Apparently, one guy literally killed himself doing that with either a light bulb or a mason jar. And he ended up like just
Probably
bleeding
because
out.
the glass cut his intestines. I'm sure.
Mhm.
That's what happens. They don't realize what can happen. They don't think about
Well,
it.
I've heard of this unpacking story once before in my life, and that was when I was about 19. A young EMT actually told me that they had I believe she was an autistic woman, and she had the same problem. And that's what they were all doing. They were like taking shifts trying to work this girl's rectal cavity open to get it all out. So the way I see it,
I know.
that must have been traumatic, and they used lube. But you're saying this guy went up there dry, got stuck.
He went up there dry. He was so enthusiastic. He went up there dry because his enthusiasm. He was trying to fix him, but he certainly fixed everything. He had to drag everything out.
Oh, God.
The poor bastard.
God. Oh my God.
He wouldn't forget that. That's for sure. He wouldn't forget that.
I have to ask, how long was this doctor stuck up this guy's ass? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know, about 5 minutes or so, because we had to help him pull his arm out.
Oh, God.
So he was only 5 minutes, and then he went finally to the wrist or to the forearm? That only took 5 minutes?
5 minutes?
Oh, no. He was in there for 5 minutes. It took him longer than that to get up there.
Oh, okay. So how long did the whole thing take, like start to finish with no lube?
Oh,
to go
about 15 minutes.
about 15 minutes. Wow. Oy. And
Very painful.
well, yeah, the guy that was getting the procedure, he didn't notice that this doctor wasn't using any lubricant of any kind, or didn't say anything, or what the hell was this?
Well,
What the hell was the person thinking?
he yelled. You know, he was in such pain. The valve being stuck up his ass. Which was worse.
I'm sorry.
You know, you have your choices.
Your connection went bad
I
there.
said-
Sorry, could you say that over?
I said, the man was in such pain trying to get rid of the bowel movement. When the guy went up his ass, he didn't know which was worse. The arm in his ass or the bowel movement in his rectum. So it took him time to figure out which one was worse. This guy's so
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's fucking funny. Okay, so okay. Sorry. I've been laughing about this idea since last night, so don't blame me if I go out of control here. Oh, okay. So
well.
and these
When we were observing it, it was funny, but the poor bastard, he really didn't,
sorry,
he didn't
you
think
lost.
it was too bad at the time.
You got to keep
No, I
talking
can
into the
imagine.
mic.
I am talking. I'm
I
talking into the
imagine the
mic.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I imagine the guy who was getting it all done to him. That was probably the worst week of his life, maybe
Oh,
even
I'm
a
sure.
couple. But this doctor was literally stuck in here now. So he's up to his wrist and he's stuck, and you guys are having to inject lubrication around the side to get his
Right, to
arm
get
bloody
him
out.
out. So you wouldn't, rip his intestines out.
And I'm assuming the really shitty part of this is that at the end of getting that doctor out, they still had to go back in for the crap.
That's right. So this poor bastard didn't even get relief.
Well, I imagine having an arm out of your ass is a bit of relief. Oh
Well,
my god.
I guess it was a relief.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my.
Yeah.
So he did live though. It's all good, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. But it was, at the time, it was a
Humiliating.
little traumatic. That's for sure.
Yeah,
A
I
little
can
traumatic.
imagine. That sounds pretty traumatic. I've been through some crap fucking situations, but that sounds pretty goddamn traumatic. I'm not gonna lie. He takes the cake. Oh my. Oh, and the gay gentleman that came in, they here's what I don't understand. If you can put something up, like shouldn't he have been able to push it out, or did it just like go into a weird corner with this carrot, or what?
Oh, it was in his vagina. So,
His vagina, Ma?
yeah. Well,
What?
not his vagina, but it was
All the way up his ass.
it was up his ass, and he couldn't reach in and pull the carrots out
Right, but
his
we
vagina.
can push it out. Like we push out our own bowel movements. You think he would have been able to push out this carrot?
It's so easy. You ever constipated?
What's that, love? Sorry,
Were you ever constipated?
Oh yeah.
Have
No,
you
I've
ever
been
had
through
a
that.
trouble having a bowel? Well, then it's not always so easy to push it out.
No, I guess, yeah. Yeah, it's all a matter of
So,
perspective, right?
and the carrots, remember, are not part of his bowel movement. So, they were kind of funny. So
Yeah.
the guy had he had trouble.
So what you're saying is that carrots are not ribbed for pleasure.
No, not really.
Okay.
Not up your
So
ass.
okay, that's good. That's good. So yeah, guys, if you haven't taken a mental note of this, don't stick produce in your orifices of any kind other than your mouth. Okay, you can eat them, but not up the other ones.
No, not up
So
the other way.
and so other than that, you mentioned to me about a couple that came in with something lodged up inside a woman's vagina. So let's go into the details of that one, because I thought that was pretty funny too. And I don't. Oh, sorry, you're breaking up there, Cynthia. Could you start over? Cynthia. Oh, just hold on a sec. Just hold on a sec. Your connection is really bad. I apologize. Sorry, Cynthia. Just test your connection here. Hello? No, no, it's no better. You guys are still breaking up really bad. We got to get you guys like a telephone tower or something. Testing, Eric.
That better?
That's better. There you go.
Is that any
Cynthia.
better?
Much better. Could you start over?
I'm just saying, they had French ticklers, and this and her husband came.
Oh, I'm sorry, your connection is cutting out. Sorry,
Okay.
guys,
Right.
your connection is cutting out really bad. Sorry, technical issues, guys. You know how it goes. Bloody cell phones and Wi-Fi and all that. But she does have a great story about the whole French tickler, which was mentioned to me. But I would like her to tell the story because she tells it way better than I ever could. And yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
How are you?
Hey, Eric.
How are things now?
It seems a
Is it
little better.
better?
Yeah, it seems like it's passed. So go on, tell us the details of this lady in the French tickler.
This man and woman came into the emergency room, the husband and wife, and they had been, experimenting with this particular in the, and it got stuck. So she had to come in to the.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. The connection breaks up as soon as you get into this story here. It starts breaking up. Is there any way you
Is that better?
can? Yeah, can you just go off your cell service rather than even trying to connect to Wi-Fi? Because I find
I
that
am
breaks
on my
up
cell
phone.
phone.
So you've got your Wi-Fi shut off completely?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I do because if they're trying to compete with each other, I find they do that. They kick in one and the other whenever one gets stronger, and it actually ruins everything. Okay,
All right,
so
can you hear
sorry.
me now?
Yeah, sorry, Cynthia. Please try this again.
Okay, anyway, this man and woman came into the emergency room because she was having trouble walking, and they had been having a little sexual pleasure, and he had pushed this French tickler, which is kind of a little, it's a stimulant,
Hmm.
but she couldn't get it out. So
God.
they came into the emergency room for the doctor to take it out, but she was very upset, of course. But believe you me, I don't think she'll ever tickle her tickle anymore.
How far did they ram this thing up there?
Well, I guess
Like I
he
thought
pushed it in, trying to have intercourse, and he pushed it up her vagina, and she couldn't pull it out.
and they had to get her out of the car. It was so bad she couldn't even come up, like walk up to the elevator or anything.
Well, it was very uncomfortable. Yes,
She must look like a cowboy, bow-legged cowboy.
yes, it was very uncomfortable. And the doctors had to take it out with a little probe. So she didn't do that again, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess I guess the idea of using toys for the extra boost of pleasure is not really worth it sometimes. That's why I don't agree with
No, it
sticking
isn't.
things up your ass. You know what I mean? Oh
Right.
God.
I don't agree.
So
It's
Cynthia,
very strange.
you also mentioned that you would
Yes,
get a lot of people coming in that, and we've all heard it, right? People go to the emergency for injuries that basically were done during crimes or criminal
right.
activities of some kind, and they would try to like cover it up. But now you told me you've had people come in and straight up deny things, right?
Oh yeah, they come in and they'd be bleeding all over the place, and they'd say there's nothing knew that if they got a gunshot, you'd have to call the police. So they wouldn't admit to anything. And then
So
the
they just show-
teenagers who were in car accidents, they'd rather bleed to death. But then, we put them down on the stretcher and finish them out. But the teenagers are worse with the car accidents. They denied
Really?
everything. They were never in the car, or they had the car and it just swerved. Oh, they denied everything. And their parents
Oh, yeah.
never knew that they had the car. Never knew. It was
Well-
always a surprise.
The one gentleman that came in fucking with blood all over him and, saying he was fine. I thought that was pretty damn funny when you told me that one. Unfortunately, your connections broke up there, but so give us the details of that guy specifically, because most likely everybody missed it.
He came in and he walked into the emergency room and he said, "I'm fine. I just have a little blood on me." He had blood all over him. He had been shot, but he didn't want to admit it. He had been shot, but he didn't want anybody to know because he'd have to call the police. These people are nuts. They'd rather die than, follow procedure. Some of them
my
were
God.
nuts.
So how does he deny that? Like, first of all, if you're fine, why are you covered in blood? Secondly, if you're fine, why are you in the hospital? Like,
Well,
there's
he
gotta
came in
be-
because he had some blood on him. He just
Mhm.
wanted us to check it out. So we checked him out and found out that he had two bullets in him. So I guess he had a problem.
Yeah, I can imagine, eh? Somebody's trying to air out his meat suit.
That's for sure.
Chris, I got to mute you for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why? What's the matter?
Oh, well, while they're muted there, guys, I thought I'd take a moment to show the channel for you. And if you haven't noticed, D-Man's got a message that's pinned up there, and there's also a link in the description of the stream tonight. If you feel like throwing a couple bucks into the Emperor to keep this thing going, not that I would stop anyway, because let's be honest, my guests are amazing. So if you feel like you could donate a couple bucks to the PayPal, please do. And, we're going to continue this nonsense no matter what. And I appreciate everybody that's donated so far. It's been a huge help, especially during these hard times. Couple of things that I will like to mention, and I touched on a little bit last night there during the stream, that I would like to do a marathon and take donations for the people who were involved with the incident in Texas. I don't know who is actually doing any kind of like fundraiser there yet, but if we can get together and throw a couple of bucks towards them when we do find somebody, I'm more than willing to do that through my PayPal as well. I do believe that there's actually a selection there where I can set up like a donation, so I may get to that right away. But if you put it in the description of whatever you guys decide to donate tonight, and it just say it's for Texas, and I will make sure that once I get that thing set up, if I can do a separate fundraiser that can be selected, I will add that to it as well. So thank you guys, everybody. You are truly amazing people, and again, I can't thank you enough. But yes, other than that, me and Eric will be touching on the situation that's happened down there and everything that's developed. So a little bit later on. But for now, let's go back to Cynthia. Cynthia and Eric, are you good?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. You guys even answer in sequence.
That wasn't planned. No.
That wasn't planned at all. Oh. So Cynthia, now let's talk about the actual staff. What kind of craziness do you guys get into? Maybe not yourself personally, but what kind of craziness have you actually seen go down with the staff when it comes to the nurses and doctors in your hospital specifically?
Well, some of the doctors they get a little overwhelmed with the emergency room. They're new, some of them. The other ones, they get seasoned, as you
Hmm.
say. But some of the new ones get a little upset. So then the nurses have to help them through it. And the nurses, some of them get a little overwhelmed also. So you have to help each other.
Hmm.
And there are some interactions between doctors and nurses in the back room,
Oh,
but that
really?
happens. Oh, yeah, that happens.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's, you work close together and sometimes you develop a relationship.
Well, you said you've actually had a nurse that married one of the patients,
Doctor,
right? Oh, he
yes, the
married.
patient. But
Oh, yeah.
that was on a floor unit. This is
Okay.
in the emergency room. The doctors and nurses get close because they work close together and under extenuating circumstances. And so, they're under a lot of pressure. So
Well,
sometimes in the back room, they release their pressure.
yeah, I guess, huh? Sometimes you just gotta, yeah, pop the top. I can imagine. I mean, and you guys worked long ass hours, it's not like even if you had partners at home, you would see them often, right?
Right,
Makes
right.
sense.
Some of the hours are very long,
Yes, I can
12,
imagine.
16, and then if it's really bad, can be 24.
Yeah, well, I've heard people doing triple shifts or heard of
Yeah,
them doing triple shifts on the emergency wards. And right now, especially we have a huge doctor shortage here in Canada. Huge. And the ones we do have aren't worth the fucking damn. I mean,
oh,
I've gone to a doctor where she literally Googled everything. She didn't even touch me or look at me or anything. She just Googled it. And I was
oh,
like,
see that,
sorry, go ahead.
that's terrible.
It
I
is
said that,
terrible. Well, I mean, one year we had 26 doctors that were found out of the whole country that didn't even have medical license. They had fake documents from Pakistan.
oh, wow.
Yeah, one lady actually killed like 30 people before she was found.
Oh,
Everyone,
well,
yeah, everyone she touched, she killed. And she was like a heart specialist or something in her documents.
oh, well, she certainly fixed their hearts.
Yeah, oh yeah, no,
They,
they're fixed for good.
they didn't complain anymore.
No, no, there was no complaints afterwards. And I imagine, we do sign waivers, right? I mean, whether
Yes,
it's minor or major, we sign waivers that state, if
yes,
something goes south, we're not held accountable, right?
yes, right. You sign it that they're doing their best.
Yeah,
That's what they
and
say in the emergency room. They're doing their best.
well, and in most cases that's true. But when you're a fake doctor, you're not doing the best that should be there. You're just doing the best you can to hide. And she
Right.
did. I found out that my niece was actually delivered by a doctor who wasn't a doctor. So he was one of
Oh,
the 26.
oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know how it happens. How do they get in there? How the documents are overlooked or not double checked, triple checked, whatever the case is, but they
Yeah,
have
I
a
know.
system. They
They
have a
they
system.
usually check everything.
Yeah.
The administration usually checks all those documents very closely.
Yeah, and
Let's see.
even coming from other countries, there has to be a paper trail somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Let's see.
here in Canada they didn't even look. They didn't look.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's bad.
That is
That's very
bad.
bad.
Very worrying. And here we've had, because my brother was actually married, well, he wasn't married to her. They had kids together with a nurse when he was young.
Yes.
She ended up becoming a hardcore drug addict because when she was hanging out with all these other nurses and doctors, they basically broke into the medicine cabinet all the time. So they'd have these big drug parties.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I don't know if any of that happened during your time, but now it's not uncommon at all. I've heard of everything from um, like the nursing homes, they have patients obviously that are like at the end of their life, and they basically drug them up with like fentanyl patches. You might have
Right.
seen some of those.
Yes.
And nurses were actually swapping out the fentanyl patches early, not just stealing them straight up from the cabinet, but they were swapping them out early and picking them out of the garbage to go home and use whatever fentanyl they could get out of it.
Oh my God.
Oh, no, it's
I never,
horrible.
I never saw that.
No,
We had a nurse who was a drug addict on a medical unit, and she was taking the drugs out of the narcotic closet, but they caught her.
yeah.
But it was sad. But it wasn't usual,
Well, I
not as
mean,
prevalent as it is now.
yeah. I mean, I know they track what's in the cabinet fairly
Yes.
closely, and that's why they couldn't steal from there. But what they would do with the actual patients, so if they took their new patch, right? I've heard, like I said, I've heard of them taking them out of the garbage. I've heard of them swapping them out early. I've also heard of them basically taking the new patch in and doing a quick sleight of hands to throw the old patch back on so that they
Oh,
could pocket the new one,
yeah.
right?
Well, I
And
can see that fentanyl is quite popular.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so deadly too. I mean, even in the smallest of doses. Here, we have a serious drug problem on the street with fentanyl that's coming from China. And
It's killing the people.
yeah, well, I've actually spoken to drug dealers who lace their cocaine, certain bags of cocaine, with a drop of fentanyl, liquid fentanyl, because they know whoever's getting that bag is going to the hospital. And every other junkie will think they have the best shit out there. So they'll come to them for the strongest cocaine that they think they're getting.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They still do that in New York.
Yeah, they do that. Apparently, that's a new common thing everywhere.
They want to
So,
make sure they think it's good.
yeah, they
Oh,
they they yeah, they think like, "Oh, they've got the strongest cocaine because this person went to the hospital," not realizing that they went to the hospital for fentanyl overdose, right? So,
good
it's
Lord.
yeah, and it's everywhere. Like I said, these nursing homes, my ex-wife, she worked in a nursing home for a while, and that's where I got all the stories from there in a very short period, and it was, like, crazy. So I can't imagine what goes on in a big hospital. And, with these not only the nurses now, but the doctors being involved in these drug escapades that they go on, right?
Right.
Getting
I
together
know.
for barbecues and stuff and breaking out the scripts that they've stolen. Like, and this is a doctor that's going to go into the office in a couple of days and start cutting people open.
I know that it's sad. It's really
Terrible.
scary. I'm glad I'm not in medicine right now because it's
Oh,
changed a lot since I've been there.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, well, with everything else on top of that, like the stories you're familiar with, or the scenarios that you've probably seen with the nurses, and doctors getting together, or nurses getting together with patients right in the hospital, that stuff is still going on. We've just thrown a shitload of drugs in on top of it.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, there's probably hospitals out there that if you had a close look at them, or even nursing homes, you would find that this is nothing but a big drug den. Everybody's on it.
I'm sure it's changed a lot since I've been there.
Oh, yes, yes.
Remember, it's been a few years since I've been in the hospital.
Sorry, how
And
long?
it's been a few years, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, how long have you been retired, love?
96.
Oh, Jesus. So you've been off
Yeah,
the clock for a while.
yes, yes. I mean, I still have conversations with nurses, but it's not as bad as it's not as bad as now. Now it's much worse than it used to be.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
it's
no,
it's sad. It's sad. I'm sorry that the drugs have really taken quite a prevalent, you know, episode in everybody's life, and
yeah.
horrible. I
Well,
thank God.
we have kids now that are 14 years old that know more about cocaine and heroin than I ever did at 25.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
yeah,
I'm
no,
sure.
and it's in every
It's
aspect.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's on the street, and they get to see it all the time. You
Hmm.
just have to pray that your kid doesn't try it.
Well, and
That's
that's the
all.
thing. That's the thing when it's passed around in the school. I mean, we all did, the standard weed and hash and stuff like that. The pot related drugs when we were in school, and occasionally mushrooms once we got to high school. But the idea of bringing cocaine or heroin or fentanyl into a school was just so beyond us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. That was not a problem. It was mainly the marijuana, the pot.
Yeah, see,
But
pot now is legal, and I mean, most people have realized that the pot didn't really do any harm to you. It's just when you escalate it to, new drugs.
well, it
Wrong.
does affect your brain a little bit. Your brain's waves. The pot. It isn't good. You shouldn't take any drugs. Let me tell you that.
No,
That affects
well,
the system no matter what you say.
hey, and that's why I live a clean life. I just smoke cigarettes and drink tons of coffee, right?
Well, cigarettes
So,
aren't good
who told you that?
either. My mother,
Oh, she's lying, I'm sure.
when she smoked, I never smoked in my life and I got COPD. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, no shit. See, well, there you go. I smoked since I was like 9. I mean, I'll probably be fine, even
That's
though
true.
I can't run, 500 yards without gasping for air, and I cough when I laugh too hard, so I have to mute my mic once in a while. But hey, who knows? So
Well, I think it's the luck of the draw.
it really is. It really is. And I mean, nobody's immune from anything.
No,
So
my husband worked in New York City, down in the where the
Port
buses,
Authority.
the Port Authority, where
yeah,
all the gas fumes came from the buses and everything. His lungs were as pink as a baby's ass. I
really,
didn't hear that, and I got COPD, and he had nothing. His lungs were beautiful. I could smack him.
what a fucker.
It
Well,
happens. It's the luck of the draw.
it really is. I mean, some people seem to be more, I guess, genetically vulnerable to
Right,
certain things when it comes to it. Now we all know that everybody is capable of getting cancer and you
right,
know and lung disorders and stuff like that. I mean, I was born with asthma, so I had to deal with that my whole life and up until I was the late teens. And to be honest with you, that was just the luck of the draw for us. You know what I mean?
right.
Not that I'm saying cigarettes are going to help me avoid cancer, but I'm just as likely to get it as somebody who's a non-smoker,
Oh yeah, that's true.
you know. And
Yeah,
it's sad
it's
when anybody gets it at all.
absolutely. You don't have a choice.
No,
I
I
had
mean,
breast cancer, and I did okay.
well,
I was fine.
I'm glad, and unfortunately, your son has been through it, and we're glad he's still here. I'm not much on religion, but I thank whatever God is out there that we're all still here today.
That's
But
true.
our medical field, I know I wanted to touch on this with you before you had to take off. I kind of wanted to touch on the what changed during your time in the medical field, and to I believe it was you were in at the late 60s, right?
Yes.
Yes, so you were
70s,
there. Sorry, go ahead.
70s and 80s.
70 and 80s.
Yes.
So
So
were
I
you there?
saw, go ahead.
I was going to ask if you were there when they did that whole change on how they charged for things, because I know we touched on it before. The cost that they labeled everything with when they brought out the binder, essentially the binder of medical costs, were now The bags of IVs were $2,200 or whatever the hell they were listed at when it used to be like $17.
Right. Oh yeah, that was for the hospitals so they could exist and get their big machines. And then you remember you had open heart surgery start, so that was expensive.
Hmm.
So they had big cardiac catheterization labs where they did practice heart surgery on animals, and the doctors would do that because the animals' hearts were similar to human,
Hmm.
and they'd practice the heart surgery on the animals, and then they did it on the people.
Oh
It was
yeah,
amazing.
Made it a big business.
It was
yeah,
became a big thing.
yeah. And when they started overcharging for everything, I mean, we noticed that people obviously who couldn't afford it. I mean, I've been to the hospital in the U.S. Although I'm a Canadian. I lived in Wisconsin for 5.5 years, nearly 6 years. I went to the hospital there, and although I didn't find it to be a bad experience, because I only went for minor things. I actually came down with a case of Bell's palsy, and
Oh wow.
yeah, which was cleared up in no time with an antibacterial
Yeah.
medication. And I went in once for an ear infection, right? So I didn't find that to be too bad. But I mean, just that visit with the nurse's practitioner, I believe she was called. So not an actual
Yes.
doctor.
Right.
$175 just to look at me.
Right.
And I can't, like you were saying, a stay in a hospital for 5 days or something is what do you figure about $28,000 or 38,000?
Right. Unbelievable. The
Unbelievable.
bed, the food, the people, the staff, everything, the lab. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And what did we notice when they implied that? I mean, more people just stopped going to the doctor, right? Because of the cost. So it didn't help our medical field at all, and it definitely didn't help the citizens to jack up the prices to, astronomical numbers.
No, but when you need it, you need it. And that's
Exactly.
why people have to have insurance. You have to have insurance or you couldn't exist.
Well, and I have to agree with you there. Luckily, it's not that we didn't adopt those same prices for different items and treatments and products that they use in the hospital. Here, we do. We have those same prices. Luckily, we have a government um, issued Medicare, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's not a great system for other reasons, right? I mean, we have doctors that work here and all they want to do is funnel through as many patients because they get roughly $75 if you went into an office, right? A doctor's actual office. He gets about
Yes.
$75 for every patient he sees, right? And
Uh-huh.
that's all they look at. They're not there to help you. They just want as many people funneled through as possible, you know?
Right.
Because once they go into the actual emergency room, as they all do a shift there, or what they call it's a swing shift between all the doctors in the area, all have to do so much time at the actual emergency rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, well, when they go there, they're paid next to nothing, right? But they're still charging out the ass. It's just none of that money is actually going towards supporting the hospital or the staff, really. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they know that they can funnel through 30 patients at their office every day, no problem. So they go in and they funnel you through. But yet they're still making huge amounts of money, like huge amounts. These doctors are not poor at all. You know what I mean? All right.
Right.
Sorry. So, yeah, other than that, love, if you got anything else to share with us, because I know it's a little later there than everywhere else here, and I'm sure you're tired. You want to get to bed, and Eric did mention you took your medication already. Any other interesting stories you'd like to share with us before you go? Oh, Apparently, we lost them. We'll just give them a second, guys, for their connection to come back. And I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. Nope. Nope. Thought we had them. Yeah, Eric, are you there?
Once in the emergency room, we used to have one of the staff members get under a sheet, and then we'd push a gurney, a stretcher,
Yep.
to the elevator, and they were covered totally with the sheet, and then all of a sudden, everybody in the elevator.
Just a
Used to do
second.
that for
There's
fun.
Cynthia. You guys are breaking up really bad. Sorry, love. Could you start over with that?
In the
Oh, it's still really bad. Sorry, your connection's still breaking up really bad there, guys. We might have to just give this a second. But if it has to do with dead bodies, Eric, can you hear me? Hello?
How is that?
That's better. There you go. Sorry. Go ahead, Cynthia.
All right.
Start over there.
Nothing?
Go ahead, talk.
Oh, sometimes in the emergency room, we used to put a staff member on the stretcher, cover them with a sheet, and push them into the elevator, and then have them sit up to scare the people in the elevator. It was just for fun. Nothing better to do,
They still do that now. So this is not a new thing when we see it, because we've seen a couple of those online where people just like, oh, I'll leave this stretcher here in the elevator with people, and they're looking at it funny.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay. Well, Cynthia, love, we will let you go. Yeah, Eric, we can hear you, buddy.
They're gonna let you go, and they just wanted to say goodbye.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. It was nice talking to you.
It was lovely talking to you. You too, here, and thank you again for coming. And guys, if you, like I said, if you would like to donate, maybe we can send this lovely lady some flowers to make up for joining us here tonight. I know our connection wasn't great, but I personally thought it was hilarious, some of the stories out of her. And, we can say our thank yous that way.
You can.
Okay.
But I appreciate this, Chris. Thanks for having her on. She actually thought this was a good idea.
I thought it was a fantastic idea. I thought it was fantastic, dude. Like I said, last night, it was like 4 a.m, guys. We were up laughing our asses off coming up with this concept. And he actually had to reach out to his mother right away. He couldn't even wait till the day. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
Appreciate you guys. I appreciate
Oh. You're breaking up, buddy. You're breaking up real bad. We didn't catch any of that.
I'm doing what I can with the best I can with the connect. I'm sorry.
No worries, brother. So yeah, Eric, if you need to take care of things there for a bit with your mom and get back to a better Wi-Fi, we can open up the chat to a couple of guests, and I'd like you to come and talk about the shitty part of this week, which was the Texas shooting and the new info that's come out from your point of view, which I tried to get last night, but unfortunately you were busy. Are you up for doing that?
Oh yeah. Just give me like 10 minutes.
Sounds good, buddy.
Go back upstairs and get. All right.
Move yourself to the back.
I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Brother. All right, gentlemen. So sorry about our connection issues there, but I thought those stories were hilarious. And when Eric started telling me last night about some of the things that his mom had told him, like I said, with the doctor getting his hand stuck up that dude's ass, that was hilarious. And I was like, dude, we have to try to get her on for a show. And he was like, my God, you're right, Chris. That would be a good idea. So he jumped on the bandwagon. I jumped on the bandwagon. And luckily, she was willing to come on. She thought it was a great idea. And here we are. Hopefully, the connection wasn't too bad for you guys. And you got at least most of the details of those stories. But I thought it was just interesting to lighten up the mood a bit. After all, this week has been fantastically shitty. This whole month has been fantastically shitty. But I put the link in the chat there, guys. If you'd like to jump in and say hello, maybe give your 2 cents worth on the upcoming topic, which, of course, we're going back into the deep dive of the Texas shooting and the just unspeakable actions, really, of these police officers, and the methods they took to avoid basically stopping this active shooter from the get-go. And I mean, we've had a couple of videos come out today that were just really just horrible. Unfortunately, I can't play some of them because they are kind of copywritten. So unless we want to get the whole thing struck down, I'd rather you guys come in and talk about what you've seen. I mean, what I've seen personally is that this group of officers have played the information that we had yesterday about them taking their own kids out first and then standing outside waiting for shit to just end. The talk of arresting the parents, that's totally legit. They have arrested a couple. They have pepper sprayed a bunch. And the gentleman that actually went in and put an end to this was the border security guard that was off duty. And if the medical information is right, he took a bullet to the top of the head, which went through his baseball cap and just skimmed off the top of his skin on the skull. So, he threw his life on the line, and kudos to him. He did the right thing. And I'm not sure if the details are right, but it does look like his daughter was actually in the school and may have been one of the victims. So that extra sucks. And right now, we'll just welcome Mr. One Fast Act. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, brother? New haircut?
Yeah, like it.
I do. You look as bald as I am now. Oh, so, Brother Dak, what's new and exciting on your end?
Not much. You want to know what YouTube's doing now?
What's that?
Okay, so if I upload a video, they automatically put it to it's okay for children. So when that happens, nobody can comment on the video.
So is that why I have to go into studios all the time now and select that?
I think that's what's going on. Outlaw had the same problem. D-Man, of course, knew about it and Discorded me about it and stuff, but I kind of knew it was already happening. I saw it myself. So I think what we have to do now, honestly, is when we upload a video, you just have to check off, because legally you have to, like if you read the fine print there, when you go to that screen, you legally have to tell YouTube if it's good for children or if it's not.
Well, I have to do it through Studio because, I mean...
Yeah, you do it through Studios.
Yeah, there's no selection in StreamYards for it.
Oh, no, it has nothing to do with StreamYards. I'm saying if you're uploading videos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, definitely. They give you that screen, like right before you download it, you say, okay, and then it goes to the screen and it asks you if it's good for kids or not. Yeah. So I never filled it out. I never put anything.
Well, and I always selected that it wasn't for kids, but
that's a good plan, because now you know what I have to do? I have to go back through 380 videos of mine or some and put them all to that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, let's welcome Mr. Johnny Midnight. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Hey,
Not
Johnny,
too bad, buddy.
Hey, Dak, are you feeling better?
Yeah, a lot better, man.
Oh, good,
Thanks.
good to hear. Yeah. You know what? A lot of things have been pretty fucky going around on YouTube right now. As a matter of fact, I just told Mandy in the chat that I found out earlier today that I was unsubbed from Good Mother and Crazy Bitch Boot Camp.
Really?
Yeah, and I did, I didn't do that, but here's the weird thing. I hadn't seen any transmissions from her for a few days. I was like, maybe she's just like busy or some shit. And whatever. And the thing is that the night that I had posted in her chat the full Buffalo shooting, because one of my guys got it and posted it on a surface web channel. I hurried up, I copied it. She said she wanted to see it. I put it up there in the chat. I asked her, is that okay? She said yeah. And after that, I didn't hear anything from her, and I was unsubbed from her, but I got no notifications or nothing like that. So that's one of the weird things that you got to worry about, because there, I have not found any kind of raw footage of the Texas shooting, but I did get the Buffalo one a couple of times. And when I posted that on YouTube, I mean, that was a power move,
Yeah,
I put my ass on the line.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't post external sites. They really frown upon that big time.
That must be why they fucking scrubbed me.
Yeah, and they can't stop you because you're ranched, right? So like I've said before, when you guys are ranched, you got to be real careful. What you say, the language you use, and what you post. Don't post external stuff. Just don't do it. You can post YouTube stuff, stuff on YouTube. They don't mind, but if you start posting external stuff, that's where the problem's going to start.
Okay. So I asked Mandy, am I still wrenched over, at her main and CBBC? And she said, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, because they dumped my wrenches twice, all of my wrenches.
Oh yeah, I know you made that video posting that thing, but it's kind of a good idea not to wrench everybody. But
yeah.
No, and you know what D-Man's saying here is right. They're gonna pull out all the fucking stops on this, right?
Oh yeah.
Eventually, they're gonna start pulling the rugs on things. I mean, it's why, like, right now, if we see something pop up when it comes to like the monkeypox, right? Or these shootings, get what you can up as quickly as possible, because before long, the next thing you'll know, fucking YouTube will be censoring anything related to it.
Oh yeah, they will.
Right?
They're going to do the same thing like they did to COVID, like they did to the jab, or any kind of talk about it. Like it's funny too. Like I have Microsoft Windows on my main computer. I have like 3 computers, but my main one is got the Bing search engine, so it gives the MSN news feed every day when you open up your browser, and Corona just keeps getting farther and farther down the line. It's number 5 right now. I bet you in June it'll be like number 6.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about it anymore. Where am I lagging?
No, we're all lagging. Even since Dak came in, like he started lagging right off the hop. I'm kind of wondering if maybe
we're getting
the lag issue is. Well, maybe the lag issue is on my end.
Well, what are you watching, Chris? Are you watching this on YouTube too? Because there's a lag.
Yeah, I have YouTube Studios open, but I mean, like when you come in, you guys usually aren't lagged to me, right?
Oh, we're lagging to you. Weird.
Yeah,
because I'm kind of wondering. Sound fine.
My connection says it's strong.
I don't know. YouTube's been doing some funny things lately. Real weird things.
Got to remember, all 3 of us, anybody with the MGTOW moniker or anybody that's associated with the Manosphere, we're getting, we have snoopers on us. Every fucking one of us.
Yeah.
And it could be my fault because I posted that fucking link.
Well, fucking done. You brought the glowies down on us.
I did. It's my fault.
No, there's a lot of people post external links. You just gotta, you just can't. That's all.
Yeah, no, you can't. No.
Because who knows what it is, right? So.
It's
Well, I
all
mean,
good.
I mean, I posted a very high sensitive video feed that I got out of a deeper place, and, you know, and I put it up there, and with permission from the channel host, and she said,
Yeah.
"Okay, you know, throw it up there." And I said, "Okay, you
Yeah.
asked for it,"
Yeah.
and boom, next thing I know, I got deleted from her, unsubbed from her channel, and
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And
I
Good
get
Mother told me that she gets unsubbed all the time.
Oh, so do I. I get unsubbed from everybody. I've been unsubbed from Chris. I've been unsubbed from Island Hermit. Unsubbed from Cowboy. Unsubbed from Values. Unsubbed from Hammer. I've been unsubbed from just
It's
about.
like they don't want us to fucking talk to each other. But I
They
mean,
don't,
you know,
and that's what it is. Hammer did a thing on it, and he said they don't want us. You know, they don't want like-minded people talking at all.
No, of course not. We'd be able to organize. And
It scares them.
together.
well, it's like the 2020s version of the 1920s prohibition. They don't
Almost.
want us getting into the fucking bar and, you know, making plans.
All right, guys. Well, let's welcome back Eric Zombro, and we got
Hey, Eric.
brother Brandon Trueblood. So
Brandon,
There's Brandon the dry cleaner.
Dak,
Hey,
Johnny, Brandon, how are you guys?
Good, Eric.
hey
You.
God,
mom's all sorted
Brandon.
away.
Oh, he's driving.
Yeah, Mom had a shot of Jameson, and she has a big glass of Bailey's right now.
Oh,
nice
boy.
lady, nice lady.
She, you know what, Chris, and I thank everybody in the chat for being so generous. She really enjoyed it. She said it brought back a lot of memories because most of the people she worked with are all dead now. But
How
she
old
said,
is Eric?
She's
How
not a
old is-
nurse anymore, right?
no, she's not a nurse anymore. She retired in '96, but she's gonna be 86
Wow.
in
Oh, what
January.
a great lady! Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. Cool.
I thought it was awesome of her to come on and share some of that. Like I said, dude, we laughed so fucking hard last night. Me and Eric. Eric had people. He was at the gym when we started the idea, and I mean, he said he had people looking at him like he was fucking retarded.
Yeah, hilarious.
Dude, I almost choked on my own toothbrush.
Well,
because I couldn't stop.
she used to like shooting the shit with like my carpool buddies. Like we would come home from a midnight and she'd have like eggs, bacon, or she'd go to the bakery and have like a bunch of pastries and coffee ready for us.
Nice.
So she used to tell us stories all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she told us the story of that doctor going, you know, no lube up that guy's butt, and we were laughing hysterically because it was just so effing funny.
Well, your mom is able to really tell a story very well, you know, and like,
yeah,
for my ears, her New York, New Jersey accent just makes it 20 times better. So.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So, brother Brandon, your mic is muted, or is that on purpose, or do you need me to unmute you? It's on purpose.
Okay.
Because I can't unmute you.
He's banging his
looks
head
like
right now.
looks like he's driving.
Did you guys see Brandon's what was it, dry cleaning video today?
I haven't. I saw the Oki one earlier though.
Okay, I gotta try to bring it up here. You guys go ahead, I'll try to find it.
Or you do that. So Eric.
Yes.
To kind of touch on, because I know Brandon's here for the same reason. To touch on what we've seen these officers do at the Texas shooting here, by getting their own kids out and just standing the fuck outside. As a former officer, you had some things to say on that.
All right. Now, first of all, I know it sounds like a Monday morning quarterback. However, the incident commander at the scene still had live 911 calls coming from inside the place. You have to act. Even if you act and you cause some damage, you have to at least take some action. You have to do something. Even if you go in and you get 2 or 3 officers killed, that's what you signed up for. We were always told this is your job. Like at a scene like that, at a gun run, something, anything like that. You're there to take it and die if necessary. Like
sure.
the people come first. That's why you signed up to be a cop. Like you take action. Like even if he's a barricaded perp with hostages, if you're still getting live 911 calls from the building that the shooting is still active and that there's people trying to escape, you have to act to try to save them. You have to. Like, I just don't get it. And then to attack people who are trying to go in, like, I know you want to keep them safe, but I don't know if any of you seen the videos. I mean, they beat that one father senseless and tased
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I have not. I have not.
They beat
Oh,
them. I mean, there was 5 or 6 guys on them, and they were all throwing punches, kicks, and knees. I mean,
Yeah,
that's BS, hands down
and
BS.
they were pepper spraying the women too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, because they were trying to actually do something by saving their kids in the school.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
they were willing to
all
fucking
the
jump
police-
in there.
All the
Yeah.
police they had their own rifles. They had their own body armor,
Yeah.
and they were just doing nothing but doing crowd control.
Yeah.
See, and that's and there's shots going off.
What
Like,
the fuck?
Well,
And
here's
it-
the thing. They're doing that after they got their own kids out. So they
Right.
went in.
Yeah. I heard something about that. They
Yes, they were-
wanted to evacuate their own children. After that, they were just kind of like, "Oh, the shooter's a tranny. Let him do what he will," or some shit. You know? I mean, what's going on with that?
Well, like Eric said, there was still 911 calls coming in from the room where that guy was. He hadn't found everybody yet.
right.
Okay.
I mean, look, we were trained that, you know, you go to a scene like that, and we're all trained the same, so we have the same tactics. You go to a scene like that, the senior officer on command is in charge, and you act. You take action. No matter what you do, you don't just stand there. You have to take action. What they did was criminal in my as far as I'm go it's with my training. I mean,
Eric,
I don't get it.
would it be too harsh for me to say that those guys need to turn in their gun and their badge and go home and find a different line of work and never ever do
Yeah.
anything that
Yeah.
has any type of responsibility again? You know, they should go and be like a house painter.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't be cops because like we would look in our first week of the academy, like it was drummed into our head. If you die, you die. Look, we'll give you a funeral. We'll take care of your family, but you're a body. If you're protecting the people, that's it. That's what you're there for. That's what you signed up for.
And I think that's the way it should be. But isn't there some sort of constitutional amendment from about, I think, 1983, where the police do not actually have to intervene?
Yes. Then look, that's actually that's actually a thing, but I don't know.
I mean, it's
I-
wrong. I think it's fucking
Of
wrong.
course, it's wrong because like we were all, you know, look, any one of us on the panel, we're all men. We've all had pretty much of a decent life. We would give up our lives trying to save kids.
I'm from
I think-
a
and I-
police and army family. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
anyone in the chat would too. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know how as men they could stand there, like even with a lawful order from their incident commander.
Right.
That's
right.
BS. I don't get it. You know, and again, like it might sound like I'm Monday morning quarterbacking, but I had
No,
I had
no, you're
training.
not.
I had training that said you act. You must act. You have to stop the shooting, even if you distract them with your own death, and just let them know that the police are there,
Mhm.
so it knocks them out of their fugue state, so that they lose concentration. Maybe you could save a few people. Do
Well,
something.
As I stated to you, Brandon, there yesterday, and I stated to you today, even as a fucking unarmed bystander, these are little kids.
Exactly.
You would normally a fucking
mean,
person
yeah.
would think, yeah, it's a fair trade, right? You would throw your fucking ass on the line and
Nope.
take the jump. Oh,
He'll
sorry,
be
we
back.
lost
He'll be
Eric.
back.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
But you would take the leap and get in between him and those kids in any way
You're
you
goddamn
fucking
right,
could,
I would.
even if you're a bullet soaker.
I'm not a simp by any means. You know, I don't have any kids or nothing, but I'll tell you what. I mean, if I were in that kind of situation, I'd want to do something about it.
Yeah. And we're not fucking, you don't have to have a military background, a police or security background. That's just something that would click in your fucking head.
Yeah.
And like I said to Eric, if somebody went in there and tried to fucking attack him, it may put him in a more of that the fugue state, right, where he will lose concentration on what he's doing, and now his eyes will be everywhere else but on these fucking kids. It just makes it so that all you can do, even with when the police go in, is
Yeah.
do your best to draw his attention away from his intended targets onto you.
Onto
Right?
you.
Yeah, you're the human shield.
I mean, did they
right?
call in fucking SWAT? To like snipe that asshole?
I don't think there was a call placed to a special forces of any kind.
Oh Jesus!
It just
Why
so
wouldn't
happened
you-
that the border security guy was a part of a special elite border
yeah, like
security group.
special weapons thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and
Now, I can tell you, like with barricaded perps, like I don't understand it, but barricaded perps takes a while because it's a delicate thing. Like in New York, they just the ESU guys come and they use ballistic shields, and then they just break in and just storm the place. But in an incident like that, when you still have live calls coming in with, you have to act. Like I just,
Well, the funny thing too is like when I was talking about that fucking amendment about where the police do not have to act. My uncle was a South Side Chicago police officer, and he was an acting captain, and they would actually have to take calls that were radioed to Cabrini Green. No, I'm sorry, Robert Taylor Holmes. Big fucking project, total shithole. All right,
Yeah.
Big
Oh,
termite mound.
yeah, we have
And,
them in New York.
Yeah,
housing project.
yeah, I know. You guys do. You have like Bed-Stuy and all that.
Yep.
And anyway, like people would fucking barbecue in their bathtub a lot of the time. What they would do is they would steal a grocery shopping cart, drag it
Yeah.
up to their tenement, and put it in the bathtub and smother it with charcoal and lighter fluid
Yep.
and start grilling in her fucking bathtub, and then would let
Are
the
you serious?
exhaust on. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but it would start fires and shit.
It would start massive fires.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah. and
barbecuing in their bathtub.
Yeah,
Barbecuing in their
barbecue.
bathtubs.
Yeah, it was all the time. And
Yeah.
anyway, like these cops, after that amendment happened, would not go and respond to any kind of fire calls or any of these type of trauma calls that were happening in Robert Taylor Homes, which was under my uncle's jurisdiction. And eventually what happened was the mayor had to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and do, trump that amendment by saying, this is what's going to happen to you if you do not respond to Robert Taylor Holmes' calls. Because they had gangs there, they had vice lords, they had maniac Latin disciples, they had Latin kings. Everybody there was just shooting the shit out of each other
Brandon,
on top of it.
Can I interrupt for a second? Brandon, buddy, we're getting some bad feedback from your side from like radios or something.
Yeah. Turn off the porn. I'm just fucking with you, Brandon.
How's that?
That's better.
Sounds great. Sounds good.
Well,
Okay, that's
Never mind.
that's engine noise from my car.
No, it's still
The
back.
it's still there.
Okay, well then I will.
I have no idea, but if you want to say your piece,
Yeah,
Well-
but no, I mean, all of just.
Well,
I
my
was just saying
people.
that-
Sorry, man. I'm gonna say this real quick, and then I'm out of here.
all right, brother,
Until I get to a good spot.
we'll wait
All
for the
right.
police.
The timeline. This is what they're not reporting on the national news. The reason that the shooter crashed his truck is because he was run off the road by the police. He was involved in a chase.
Yeah, they were saying
Okay.
that they were there.
They were there. They chased him to that school. Why was the school open? Because a teacher had
Propped it
blocked
open.
that door open. She had gone and breached the security perimeter.
hmm
Now, we don't know if this is intentional,
Okay.
okay? Because there's something online from a guy that predicted that this was going to happen in a Discord server. The guy's name was Armand, and he said Texas in 13 days. And the kid that's the shooter was a member of that Discord server, because the Buffalo shooter and this kid were all on the same server, but they didn't talk to each other. But they both talked to this Armand guy.
Yes, I heard something about that. Yeah, they touched on that briefly.
So
All right,
they'll be hunting him down real. They'll be looking for him with vim and vigor for certain. The interview.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But was the perimeter of the school opened up on purpose by somebody else to make this happen? Was one of the teachers an accessory to this crime?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's an interesting.
Oh, we lost that. It's there's a lot of questions, man, and the more we fucking find out, the worse it gets. You know
right.
what I mean?
And while pursuing this guy, this active shooter, he was able to take his guns. He dropped some ammunition in the parking lot because he was under fire from the police. And he also left one of his long guns in his truck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they are not reporting that he was under fire all the way into the school.
They didn't even initially report that he was under fucking chase up to the school.
Right.
Initially. They made it sound like he just walked right in there.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to make it sound like he just walked into the school shooting. This was an ongoing. This was a.
And now that I've dropped this turd in the punch bowl, I'm going to mute myself and listen to what you have to say while I drive to a place where I can get a good signal.
Sounds good, brother.
Okay, turd's been dropped. Do you think there's been an inside job on that fucking thing?
Well, the media wants to portray it as just a school shooting. They don't want to. They don't want it seen as this was a pursuit that turned into a school shooting.
Not only that,
there's a difference.
The circumstances are literally like if you were to play out battle scenarios, right?
Yeah.
And you threw in what they call the Y factor, which is generally like random shit. Just like the teacher leaving a what used to be a secure door unlocked or open or propped open.
Right.
It's a Y factor, right? It's not supposed to be, but it is what it is. So this guy has got like 7 or 8 fucking Y factors on him, man. Like this is like best case scenario, roll the fucking dice and it's fucking
so they
basically all the way.
rolled out the red carpet for this guy to infiltrate that school and do what he did.
It's odd. It's very odd.
Very odd. Very odd. Like I said, if you were to pull this scenario up and you were to try to say, okay, I'm going to roll a set of dice and it's going to land on 7s and the fucking, the truck's going to stop in the ditch while being pursued right outside of school. I'm going to roll 7s again and he's going to make it from the truck to the fucking, to the school door and not get shot by these trained officers that were just chasing him. I'm going to roll 7s again and the door's going to be unlocked. These are all Y factors. Luck of the fucking draw that it lands on 7 all the time. Can you roll a set of dice and hit 7?
No, it's almost fucking impossible. It's like getting hit by lightning.
Dude, you got better odds of getting hit by lightning 6 times.
Yeah, no, the world's aligned for this. This is an odd event. Very odd.
Odd. Oh, we lost Eric again. Jesus Christ. Everybody under disconnections tonight. Yeah, no, like I said, man, these, yes, the lucky strikes. I mean, okay, everybody gets
too many of them.
Everybody gets lucky once in a while, right? That's bound to happen. Fuck, you didn't get stabbed today. Well, that's pretty lucky, but you didn't play out a whole scenario.
I mean, the perfect storm that got engineered was way too perfect to not be engineered. Somebody has to be orchestrating the whole thing.
And I mean, these people were on it like fucking white on rice. I mean, look at fucking what's his name, Beta O'Rourke there. I think I called him DeSantis or something, but Beta O'Rourke. He literally had seat warmers waiting to take a fucking place to wait for him to get there.
Okay. Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like Like
Yeah,
it's fishy.
yeah,
It's
no,
very fishy.
he's a POS.
Oh, he's
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
a piece of fucking shit.
he is a total piece of shit.
And
Yeah.
look, even if just say that Beto won and Beto got his way of going and taking everyone's AK and taking everyone's AR, this still would
Right.
have happened no matter what anyone wants to do. You could put up all the little gun-free zones and we're gun-free here or there. Evil people will still do evil things. That's it.
Yeah. Well, look at what happened when they banned all the guns in fucking Britain. Knife stabbings went fucking through the roof.
Right. You know where you don't see this? In Jewish schools. You know why? Because the Jewish schools have armed security at every entrance. Everybody that goes in gets patted down. Like there's just no,
Well, you don't see it in Switzerland either. 1 out of 2 people there are fucking armed. Lowest crime rate in the entire world.
Right.
Davina, you have got to get us some footage of this. I have never heard of that myself.
Oh, I have.
The mass knife attacks in China?
Yeah. They have massive you can't really get guns there, so they have huge numbers of knife crimes. And they have gang fights with knives.
Yeah.
Knives,
Well, I mean,
knives, hammers, sword, you name it.
Yeah, that's what they do in
I'll be
Britain
right
as
back,
well.
boys.
All right,
One
brother.
second.
You know, they do that shit in Britain as well. I mean, we've seen that. Like when they looked at the crime statistics after banning fucking firearms, it shot through the fucking roof.
Well,
And
Australia's having trouble too. So is New Zealand.
They became extra violent because it wasn't like I fired a shot and quickly fucking ran away or I might have wounded the guy. They get people now that are stabbed like 20 fucking times. They're engaging at hand to hand, you know, fucking fisticuff levels, and the actual violent crime rate went through the roof.
Yeah, and just look at the machetes attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, what 2 guys jumped that soldier and hacked him to death?
Yeah, yeah. And that was he was a British soldier, but it happened in, oh Jesus, was it?
It was in Europe.
Yeah, it was in Amsterdam, wasn't it?
Well, one of them, yeah, but also too, they all had the same. The EU has the same gun control stuff. It's very restrictive, very restrictive.
And crime didn't go fucking anywhere. It just became more violent and personal. Right? Now they had to take their time to hack people apart rather than spraying bullets. Don't get me wrong. Most bullets come with a fucking tag on them that say "to whom it may concern." The one with your name on it, well, you're going to catch that no matter what. The other ones are what you have to worry about. And unfortunately, they find a lot of fucking innocent targets. Guess what? This former officer, like you were saying, he was just a fucking random target. He wasn't in uniform or anything. They didn't know he was an officer or a former officer of the British Army.
Right.
They just fucking wanted to hack somebody up, and he was good enough.
The United States is getting like 2 of them a day now. I mean, it's getting crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, RPM.
RPM.
Yeah, he's Red Pill Mail or Red Pill Monthly.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
He's a black guy, but does a lot of content. But he made a great video that I think he said it came from a Rageaholic, one of Rageaholic's rants, that they're looking to drive the crime rate up so that, like they did in '94, because remember in the early '90s, the crime was through the roof.
Yeah,
every city. And then
I remember.
Yeah, then what the cities did, a lot of these like over crime-ridden hellholes petitioned the government to step in, and '94 was the year that we had the crime bill written by, among others, Joe Biden.
Yep. So basically, they create the problem to come in and take control to create a new problem.
Hegelian dialectic. Yep.
Yep.
But what RPM is saying, when this gets to the point the government steps in, this clampdown is not going to be on any other communities but the black and brown communities, who are they saying are trying to help the most.
Sorry, Brandon, brother. I had to mute you there because your back feed is cutting off when other people are talking. Sorry, Eric, go ahead.
Well, as RPM, like I said, RPM was saying that the people that are going to be affected the most when the government steps in, again, like in '94, is the black and brown community.
Don't forget us whites. Oh, we lost him again. So let's welcome Brother Indian. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, Andy.
Hold on real quick. Okay. Is Easy gone? God damn it.
No,
There's
he's back.
Easy.
There's Easy.
Yeah, I just wanted to jump in real quick. I'm doing stuff around the house and shit. But I'm not a police officer. I'm not military. But I've analyzed a lot of these things over the years. And looking at where the truck was crashed, the way the tires are off one side, it looks like it was high speed forced off that side. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right. So,
So-
that's where they hit him?
Well, I'm thinking he was being chased or something like that.
Well, they finally came out and said that he was being chased.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the fence from the aerial view, did he jump the fence or did he go around to the driveway?
He jumped the fence,
He did jump the fence.
but it's not that tall of a fence.
Right.
4 foot.
Maybe if that much.
Well, see, that's
It's
what
more.
I'm saying.
It's more of an ornamental fence.
Right.
Well, see, that's what, looking at the aerial views where the truck was, where the fence was, and it was reported of like 12 minutes before he went in there. And that's what I was going to get with EZ, because it's like you have to move. You have to move on the perp. If he's on the move, you have to move on him.
Yeah, no, you're right. You have to stay on until you catch him.
Right.
Even if you lose him in the pursuit, like after he flees the scene of the vehicle and you lose him visual sight, you flood the area with officers, and I mean flood it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
gotta
I
keep
mean,
them
like
on the
a
move.
fucking phalanx of them. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
like because I mean, like we used to do that all the time. You'd have sectors fly in from every direction so that they can't get away.
Yeah,
Right,
it's the old if your enemy goes to ground, you leave no ground for him to go.
Right.
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 Yes.
And if they would have stayed on him and going in, now I understand there might have been casualties in the school. Am I getting feedback?
That's Brandon.
That's Brandon. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. No.
Transmitting your
Well, I'm sorry, guys.
I
I'll
want to make
say
sure it
one
wasn't
thing.
me.
One thing, and then I'm gonna sign out. It doesn't look like I'm gonna have much luck at this tonight.
Seems fine when you talk.
Well, maybe it's just background noise.
No,
I'm pretty close, though.
it's when any of us talk, you're actually transmitting our feedback.
Oh, let's see if I can.
Yeah, it's not a problem we've had before with Brandon's. So I think he's just got something left on. He's probably got YouTube left on his radio or some shit.
How about that? Is that better?
Let's find out.
Check.
Nope, I still hear
2,
you.
3.
No, I still hear it.
Yeah, I hear the warble. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sign out and then come back. Then.
All right, brother.
Okay, yeah, but I just wanted to get with EZ because from my research and my thinking is that you have to stay on the perp to keep him moving and everything, even though he ran into school. If there's casualties in the school, you have to neutralize him. You have
Yes.
to.
Yeah, no, you
And-
have to act. Like and the idea of tasing and that video I saw, it was sickening because you had 4 or 5 guys just beating this man, and I mean all of them were punching, kneeing, kicking. They were beating this man after they tased him and then beat him. But it was wrong, hands down.
Well,
like
and
I-
see, go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, I was gonna say, man, there ain't no aspect of this that we can look at that is fucking that anything was done right. And I mean, like Johnny mentioned, you can create a perfect storm, absolutely, but they are so fucking rare, dude. Like you're talking astronomical numbers for this to play out the way it did.
Yeah, it's
And
really
this-
suspect here.
To see
Big
police
time.
not reacting, you know, just basically putting up a fucking barrier to keep other people out from helping.
Well, my understanding is that you have to go in, you have to go after the perp. Now, there might be casualties on the ground and everything, but you have to neutralize the perp. But then again, you're supposed to have like trauma kits and tourniquets and things like that because the bleeding is the quickest thing that's going to kill you. You have to neutralize losing the blood. You have to. And if the proper
But-
procedures were done and the proper, medical teams on there, I really think there would have been 50% less deaths.
No, it's not even that, Indy. It's the first thing you must attend to is the violence itself. You have to
The
end
threat.
the violence, and
Yeah,
then
the threat.
you end the threat.
Yeah.
You know,
You have to end the threat.
Look, even if you lost 10 officers, you're talking about saving kids.
Yeah,
That's what you sign up for. And like I said, like I don't know how the Texas police are trained, but I mean, it was drummed into our head, like you're a servant of the public. You protect and
well,
serve.
you said the T word. Didn't they bring in the fucking Rangers for this shit? I mean, this is a big, a big event.
Well, they called everybody, and I wasn't a cop either, but I was in the military, and they taught us do something.
Yeah. Not
If somebody has a better idea, then implement that. But I was also a volunteer fireman, and I was a fireman in the Navy, and they have the same message: do something.
Mm.
Don't just stand there. Do something.
Well, I mean, I work in cybersecurity. Okay, I can't get a buyer who calls in and says I've been defrauded and said, we'll get around to it. We don't do that. I mean, we find out where the fuck is the breach immediately.
Yeah,
Whatever-
it's sad.
Whatever you've done, Brandon, it has corrected your issue, so you're good to go, brother.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yay!
But I don't know. It's sad. It's just overall, just freaking Keystone Cops, a deranged kid. It's just sad.
Makes you wonder if they're even real cops. I mean, I don't mean to get really like conspiratorial, but
No, I mean on this one you could fucking get conspiratorial because let's just face it, 1 + 1 should equal 2. If it comes up 6, you got a fucking reason to be
and it is
suspicious.
coming up 6. Like
We
you
are
said, you
seeing 6
fucking
all
counted
around.
it down, yeah.
Yeah, all around, man. And like I said, yes, Y factors happen. You cannot predict those. They are the fucking loose end. They are the fucking unicorn you can't catch or the leprechaun you can't catch. But when they happen, they're Y factors. You trudge on and deal with it.
It's
When
like
you
finding
get-
a woman who's decent enough to marry. You
Yeah,
can't find
I
it.
mean, to get as many breaks as this kid got to go from point A to point B, right?
Yeah.
And everything in
Yeah.
between was fucking just laid out.
So
That's a lot of Y factors.
Has it been verified that they were pepper spraying the women?
Yeah, it's on video.
It is on video because that I was going through the scenarios of what I would have done. I would have had the women jumping on the cops and everything like that to detain the cops and get them out of the way, and then the men should have rushed the school.
Yeah.
If the cops weren't going to go in, have the women bum rush the
You
Well-
talking about the
officers.
fathers of the
They're
state.
not
There
gonna
was
get-
no organization to the parents. They were just like, they were watching the cops pull their kids out, and they're like, get in there, do something, get in there. Here, got guns, go. And that's
Well,
all they were begging them. Please
well,
go.
That's where somebody's got to step up and say, hey, they can't get us all. Have the women jump on the cops and we're storming it. They might get some of us, but I mean, if they're not going to do anything,
Yeah, you might as well disarm the cops
Right.
and go and do it
It was,
yourself.
it was basically 1-for-1 parity between the parents and the police.
Okay, if we were talking about that amount of police presence, like I said, you're in Texas. You have Rangers. There had to have been at least a SWAT dispatch that would
Well,
have been even taken out a barricaded perpetrator.
they fucking lie and they say it was a Border Patrol Special Service Unit. It was one fucking guy who
One
said,
guy.
I'm not going to stand around anymore. Went in and
Okay.
took the fucker out.
Yep.
Well,
Jeez.
here's another thing. They're saying that he had body armor. He had the plate carrier. He did not have plates.
Right.
So he did not have body armor. He had the
Well,
plate
He had like a
carrier.
harness.
He had the
nothing
plate
on it.
carrier. He's
Okay.
got he
yeah,
didn't
whether
have
or not
plates.
he had, whether or not that had, because the plates just disperse the energy,
Right.
and they back up the Kevlar or whatever the
Okay.
person has. Now, military ones, those are ceramic, and the plates themselves are the
Right.
bulletproof part. But the civilian stuff, a lot of times they'll have Kevlar and then steel behind it to disperse the energy.
The plates. You have
Yeah.
where the plates go.
Here's
You
the
said
thing,
the
size
harness
and
did not
front
have.
and
I
back.
was just trying to
in it.
point out the difference between the two types of plates.
Yes, but I'm going to show you something right now that if the link is correct, there's that officer's hat. It took a chunk out of his head where it scraped through there. A fucking plate carrier ain't going to do jack shit with a bullet to the head.
No, we're talking about on the shooter.
The perp.
Yo, on the perp, I thought you were talking about the security guard or the
No.
border officer, because that's
No.
him
Yeah, I
right
have
there.
no idea what the border officer was wearing.
Oh, he was.
No.
He had a layout. That's him there.
No, the mainstream media is stating that the perp
So he's got a
had-
bulletproof vest on.
Oh, he had a vest on.
Yeah.
He had a vest with him. But yeah, he's missing a big chunk out of his fucking skull, where the bullet fucking grazed his head.
Well, and see,
trying to
that's
find
what
the
I'm
pictures of
saying
that.
is, okay, so one qualified individual went in there and took care of business.
One highly motivated.
One
Yeah.
highly motivated, trained individual went in there and took
Nobody
care of
else was
business, and
apparently.
everyone's standing around out there. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
this just gets me spun up.
It should get fucking everybody spun up because, like I said, if Eric was right with the link that he sent me, it is looking like the chief is actually going to fucking do an investigation to have all these officers taken for cowardice.
Well, yeah, I mean, they should. I mean, that jurisdiction has the right to say, we're going to say to hell with that 1983 amendment and at least monitor the behavior and the acting duty of our police officers within our jurisdiction. If they're not going to act what they're supposed to, especially in something monumental like this,
Yeah, why should we give them all the power they have over us?
we got to pay taxes for these fuckers. So,
Well, they
know-
should have disregarded orders. That's what I'm saying, though. You got to look at the individual, the sergeant on scene or whatever the commander was. If he put down the orders to stand down, and then all the other officers aren't throwing a big shit fit, and then they go after the parents. I mean, come on.
this had to have gotten to the governor of Texas, at least with minutes. And you know what? Okay, in 2003, Marvin Heemeyer built a fucking armored bulldozer called the Killdozer and just plowed the city of Granby, Colorado to the ground. He did not kill anybody, but the governor of Colorado actually petitioned Colorado National Guard to send out Apache helicopters because nothing else could penetrate the Killdozer.
And the Apache's not what got him. He had a heart attack.
Right. He killed himself, actually. He killed himself.
Yeah, when
Didn't he fall
But-
in a basement?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he fell in a
and
basement.
got
He
stuck.
said, you know what? He fell in a basement. He ate his last meal and shot himself in the head. But either way, doesn't matter. The National Guard would not grant the governor the aerial equipment to take them out because they were worried that Hellfire missiles or it was Sidewinders would have actually killed people if there was a misfire. But still, at the same time, the Texas governor should have at least been able to assemble some strike force against this, shooter. If the locals weren't going to do anything, and it does not sound like there was anything mobilized more than the locals and some border patrol elements.
Yeah, but that's just it. Even those police officers, the local police officers who were on him from the get-go, didn't fucking do anything to take him out.
Right.
They just basically was like, okay, we're here. Yeah, we're resisting, but go ahead. Let him move. They literally were at the
they let him through. They let him do it.
Yeah, the very best case scenario, instead of them acting to take control of the situation to lead him where they wanted him, he led the police officers.
Okay,
but it does seem like there was no resistance whatsoever.
Okay, here's
he had the initiative.
Yeah.
All right.
He got the initiative and he kept the initiative.
We see what they did. What's the motive for them allowing this? What's the motive?
Well, like I said,
I think the motive is cowardice.
Yeah.
What's that politician's name again? Not Santos.
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto O'Rourke, yeah.
O'Rourke, yeah. I think O'Rourke is the fucking incentive there.
And what does he want? What does he want out of a bunch of little elementary kids getting shot to pieces? What?
It's the shock value. Shock value. That's why he went there and stated, "Can I take your guns now?
Okay,
look at what
so
you've done."
he wants Texas disarmed.
Yeah. Well, if you disarm Texas, you've literally cut the fucking balls out of the U.S., right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. There you go. I mean, here in Canada, we use Texas as a fucking reference when it comes to.
Well, that's a bad idea.
When it comes
here
to
in Kansas, we say, "Here I sit with my cheeks a flexing, giving birth to another Texan."
When it comes to the gun control thing, right?
Like, no, I lived in Texas. I love those boys down there. None of this is right, guys. None of it is right. And, we can speculate all we want. These little kids are still fucking dead. And like I stated in my last stream, this is a state fucking funded thing. 100%, no matter where you look at it, wherever you follow the trees or the fucking roots, they will come to the state again. They all lead to the state. Whether it be the fatherless home situation, the fucking welfare programs, the pro LGBT tranny, whatever the fuck he was going through, the corrupt justice system,
it all fucking leads to the people that are in charge in our government right now. You can love your country, despise your government.
Yep.
That's the end of it, because they're the most corrupt motherfuckers out there. It's not a theory. They have experimented on their citizens. They have fucking murdered their citizens. They have murdered other people's citizens. Kids, doesn't matter. There's no ethical line that they will not cross.
They've murdered our own presidents like JFK.
That's potentially a thing too.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
like I said, there's no limit.
Here's another thing I thought of. Remember Flight 93, where supposedly the passengers took on the terrorists and they crashed in that field, supposedly.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the American people, they were like deemed heroes, right? So then you got these parents down there basically wanting to do the same case scenario, if you will, in a broad aspect, and the cops are stopping them.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Look at what happened in 2020. People were going out to, stop the riots, and they got after Rittenhouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that stopped people going out to help prevent, stuff because they saw how heavy that the state came down on. That prosecutor in the Rittenhouse thing lied his fucking ass off.
Oh yeah,
They
man, I
made up
cannot
all
stand
kinds
that
of shit.
soy drinker. Yeah.
Which one is he talking about here? Which rallies?
See, that's man, that's what I'm saying. These cops not going in there, the Rittenhouse thing, this, that, and the other. Guys, when this sparks off, it's gonna spark, baby. It's gonna.
Oh yeah, and you know what, Indy? It's gonna spark off real fucking soon, brother.
See, that's what I'm saying.
mean,
When this
We just
sparks
don't know how
off,
it's gonna happen. We just don't know how it's gonna happen. But
No.
I bet you it's gonna be within this year.
And,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know the division that they try to sow between the people with all these fucking trigger warnings and groups and organizations and you're this if you're that fucking even those trigger words that they use like you're a racist and misogynist, it's all
Great
designed to keep
replacement.
us
Yeah.
all designed to keep divides between us.
That's
And as
right.
long as those divides are between us, they know we cannot unify to take over anything. Right? It's all a part of the fucking conditioning, guys. Every bit of it.
well, see, that's what
So
I'm saying is when the conditioning, when this sparks off, it's gonna be like something you got. We haven't seen something like this because it's gonna be when the people hopefully unite. It's gonna be like we ain't taking no prisoners.
it'll get fucking ugly.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be basically I guess what you would call low intensity civil war, and that's how it's going to start. I don't know if it's actually going to be a high intensity hot civil war between, like, say, balkanized factions of America, but yeah, it is definitely going to be a simmering underground battle that's going to be happening consistently for a while, and
Well, luckily you're part of the empire, so it doesn't matter.
that's right.
You're already good there.
Yep, I am Grand Canadian Minister of Immigration. So
Well, we
it's
got
really simple
Brandon,
too.
Primarch of Law.
There you
Indy's the
go.
groundskeeper.
See, what I'm saying is, you get us old fuckers out there, we're already cranky and hurting. Don't piss us off.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Indy, Father Saunders has designated me as old balls of our group. That's
Wait,
how
how
old
old are
I
you?
am.
Is your balls touching the water?
I have to tie them around my knees. I'm almost 50. Yeah,
Oh
I'm
Jesus.
fucking old.
Okay.
No, you're a baby.
Shut up, Brandon. Okay, boys. Listen, I gotta go. It was a great chat. I gotta write Mandy a DM about getting knocked off her channel by Susan, and I want to actually try to find footage from some of my deep brothers about this Texas shooting. See if I could actually get some raw footage there. So I'll get
Appreciate
it.
buddy.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you
See
for
you,
coming
boys.
in.
Yep.
And as you noticed, Eric dropped out. He's not doing too
We'll
well right
tell him
now.
he's probably gonna try to come back on in. So I'll see you guys later. Okay.
Oh, hopefully he'll make it back.
Yeah,
on.
Father Siders, old balls. Fuck you. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye, guys.
Thank you,
Hey,
Johnny. Oh no, he's like I said, guys. Great points, and you can't deny it. We can't deny it. We can't look away from all of this stuff and see that it's not all a big part of a picture, and it's a plan that they have against us, the us versus them. And I know you're wondering who the fuck is the them. It's them. These
Them.
government officials is a them. The government organization, the embodiment of what we consider governors or governance is all the corruption right there. Every fucking bit of it can almost be linked back there. Other than our occasional random acts of violence, our fucking, drug problems that we do have. Yes, these are issues. These are also issues that they do fuck all about but make worse. right? Justin Trudeau, the dictator himself of Canada, uh, somebody goes on a shooting rampage and he takes it out on legal gun owners. Makes no fucking sense.
No.
But he doesn't go after criminals, doesn't go after gangs, doesn't go after the fact that this guy got his guns from across the border illegally. No, 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 no. That's not the problem. Your gun that you use for hunting or the one you use for target shooting, that's the problem. There's the underlying problem. You're the evil one.
Well, I've also heard this through the mainstream media and this, that, and the other, that he went in there with automatic weapons. It's like he
No.
didn't go in there with automatic weapons, but they're putting it out there, same as the body armor.
Yeah.
He had body armor on. No, he didn't have plates in.
They'll swing it however they want to swing it.
Yeah.
And they
However
will
they want.
lie and repeat the lie even when confronted with the facts.
Yep.
And not believe you when you give them visual fucking video evidence. This is what happened.
Yeah.
We call them
Oh,
the
that's not what
indoctrinated.
happened. He did this, that, and the other thing, and we should punish you because of it.
Well,
Gaslighting.
we call them the indoctrinated leftists because they are indoctrinated. No matter what you show them for fucking cold hard evidence, it ain't gonna make a difference. They're lost. They used to say Republicans were in a bubble. Holy fuck. Then they're in a steel dome buried underground. Forget a bubble. Like I said, you aren't gonna sway them, but it doesn't matter. Playing this game, the same game, we're gonna end up with the same fucking results. It'll just be a rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. We might have a civil war between, people in Canada and the US, tomorrow. It'll go on for a few years. It'll fucking eventually fade away. And eventually they'll start the process all over again, maybe somewhere else. Right? Either way.
I don't. I think if something sparks off, it's going to be decisive. It's not going to be rinse and repeat after a couple years. I think it will be decisive.
Dude, it's been rinse and repeat for like fucking 1,000 years. The fall of Rome started in exactly the
Right.
same
The
way.
fall of
It's just-
empires. Yes. Yes.
it starts the exact same way. You can almost go to any country in history and look at the timelines, and eventually you'll find something that matches up. Yes, in a different method with different fucking things, but again, even that history is written by the fucking victors, and there's a good chance that there's just as much propaganda in it as there is in our fucking politicians today.
Right. You're speaking a longer timeline than I was.
Yeah, but we're at the end of a timeline.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're
Right.
getting to a focus point where it like tips over the hill. Now
Right.
we're going down, which is
Right.
where like civil unrest comes in and fucking civil war and then
It will
fucking,
snowball.
yeah, pandemics and fucking food shortages and medical supply shortages. It's all fucking, that's a runaway train.
Right.
Once we've tipped the peak, it's a runaway train. No stopping it.
Yep.
So
Get off the tracks.
get off the tracks. Indeed. So, I mean, like I said, it's going to get a fuck of a lot worse before it gets any better. And I think we can all kind of agree that everything about these situations that we're seeing is suspect as fuck. Yeah, and we're going to have monkeypox. Going to be the new one. Any other thoughts, gentlemen? We're coming up on 2 hours, and I'm going to shut this down pretty quick here. Any other
Other than
thoughts?
to pat ourselves on the back for seeing this was bullshit on day one.
Yep, I can definitely agree with that. Definitely.
So
Well,
congratulations, your bullshit filter works.
I would like to encourage people to get ready. If you can get out in the country, if you can get away from hot spots, environmental awareness, just get ready, because when this sparks off, man, it's going to be ugly.
It's gonna be super fucking ugly, dude.
Well,
Get the layout of your area, OPSEC. I mean, there's things you can do now that will increase your survivability.
Hmm.
it's
Yep.
starting to get politicized, which means it's starting to get organized. And that means that it's closer than it's ever been.
Right.
You know,
Good
these
point,
little
Brandon.
these little militia groups, as Chris can tell you, are a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nationwide movements like Antifa and BLM are showing that our side is way, way, way behind the eight ball. And when we counted on the police to fucking do the right thing, like we'd been taught to our whole life, they fucking refused, stood back, and let the country burn.
Yep. One
We
hundred
are
percent.
behind the eight ball. And don't fucking shit yourself that, hey, I'm a country boy. They're not going to get anything. Fucking A. They're organized. We're not. History has shown that the force that is organized is usually the victorious force.
Well, Brandon, I will give you some pushback on that because if you looked at some of the Antifa and BLM or whatever
I
protesting
know
some of
the
these.
individual fucking guys are pieces of shit.
No, I'm saying that some of the smaller towns that they were going in to try to start shit. Remember the bikers and everyone they
Yeah, but
pulled into
that was
town.
that was not everywhere.
No.
No, it's not everywhere, but the smaller towns, the more rural communities and things of that nature.
Uh, guys, can I ask you to check your chat and see if you see CDP's message? Because I'm not seeing it on my phone, but I see it here. I don't know why the fuck that's happening.
Is
Yeah,
it
I see it.
current? Is it current?
I go straight there anymore. There are always warning signs. The fact we can trust. Yeah.
If that's current, I'm not seeing it.
It's from a minute ago, but I'm seeing D-Man's message, right?
Yeah.
This one, and I'm seeing this one, but then it skips to JR's or the saying hi to JR. I don't know why it's. Sorry, man, but the messages might not be showing up here for some reason.
I'm not seeing CBD.
And I agree with Davina that the FBI became politicized, so the U.S. is a police state.
Oh,
Has been since
absolutely.
Clinton, sweetheart.
As be. Yep, absolutely.
All I gotta say is, if shit hits the fan, I'm going to Brandon's place.
There you go. Well, Brandon's coming here.
What?
Well, I didn't say that, but I will.
What?
I need a goddamn police force, man. What the fuck?
Okay.
You volunteered yourself. You were going to be the head of the police here. So you got to take your job because it's up
All
here.
right. All right.
Take your goddamn job.
So no, wait a minute. If Brandon's going to your place and I go to his place, then does that mean I gotta do OPSEC at his place? What the hell?
No,
Oh,
you
it's
go
all
to his
right.
place.
This has become a clusterfuck.
You go to his place and then you all come here. Fuck,
We'll
you ain't
fly
country
you
at
out.
all.
We'll cross the Rockies in a fucking ultralight.
There you go. Hey, hey, if you got the portable oxygen, we can do that.
That's sexy as fuck. You're like, look at the boys coming in the ultralight. I wonder how many
Yeah.
bombs they're carrying.
Well, you just want to carry portable oxygen with you in case you get lightheaded up there, you know.
Oh, that rarely never happens. Right? I don't know. Maybe.
What is it, Brandon? 7,000 feet, 7,000 feet,
10,500 feet.
where you have to have portable, or
Yeah.
you got to have oxygen reserve.
You got to have that or pressurized yet.
10.5,
You'll be fine. Hold your breaths.
10.4.
Fine.
Well, the worst part is it's going to be fucking cold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to happen.
It's
But if
a
you
good thing
come
I've
this
got-
summer,
It's a good thing I've got lots and lots of insulation.
Thermal underwear.
if you come this summer, it won't be
I was
that
just saying I
cold
was a
over
fat
those
bastard.
Rockies.
Well, that's where
No, we're not in Nebraska.
that's where the beaver fur underwear come in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. baby seal skins.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, buddy. Yeah, nothing warmer.
Nope.
Excellent, Ape.
Gonna go.
Well, since you're cutting it out, I'm going to say my goodbyes.
All right, brother.
Peace, brothers. Don't get married. Don't cohabitate. Do not procreate. Monk mode is my way. Hopefully, you all find your way.
Amen.
Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you for coming, brother. Oh no, Brandon is not. He's not wrong there. Indy, he's not wrong at all. And I mean, everything just adds up. It just adds up to a clusterfuck. And like you were saying, shit's gonna hit the fan. It has no choice but to hit all the fans at once. And if people are not gonna fucking wake up and realize that life ain't gonna be the same, man, when it does, they're fucking kidding themselves. I mean,
Yep.
like I said, I've been around militia and I've been around local groups here, and I have seen some fucking stupid ideas come out. I mean, we had people talking as if, if shit hits the fan, they've got, rental properties that are paying them, and they've got this and that, and their business in town. It's like, you do realize that if shit hits the fan, that's gone. That vaporizes. Your money ain't worth fuck all for the most part. People are fucking starving. They don't want your fucking paper bills, right? No, like even the very simplest things did not click with these people. It's like ABC, fuck the rest of the alphabet. ABC. That's it. So we're gonna have a lot of really unprepared motherfuckers out there.
Well, see, what I've always said is, guys, the Great Depression, my grandmother lived through it, older teen, and people are not of that mindset in today's world.
No.
They were more rugged back then, more rural, this, that, and the other. So, this next collapse, whatever it is going to be horrific.
Dude, on a
gonna
scale
be
we've
bad.
never seen. On a scale we have never seen. Most people let's face it, guys, most people in the Western world, yeah, okay, being broke is one thing, but they've still had access to some of the modern world's benefits, like, fuck, even a can of beans. What do you do when the can of beans are gone? You know what I mean? Where do you go? And these urban areas, cities and whatnot, dude, they're gonna become a fucking war zone instantly. Instantly. They're already fucking war zones,
That's what I'm saying.
right?
They're already
I
a
mean,
war zone.
Eric has told us stories, man, fucking that just fucking blow your mind. It's like, this is day to day. What do you do when you throw starvation in on top of that? Holy fuck. Complete lawlessness, or fucking, a government fucking military. Like, what do? You're gonna see fucking ungodly things. The shooting of kids in school ain't gonna be fuck all. It's gonna be a drop in the
Yeah.
bucket.
Yeah.
Drop in the bucket. And I mean, that is fucking devastating enough. Bad? You haven't seen bad yet.
That's what I'm saying, guys. I've done my research and have a vivid imagination, and people don't realize, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it will be worse than what I'm thinking. And
I
that's
don't even,
bad.
yeah, I don't think any of us can probably even wrap our minds around it fully. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know people next door to me that don't understand how fucking anything works when it comes to economics. And these are fucking grown ass adults. They're older than I am. Talking about how fucking they got an income still if there's a goddamn collapse, or if they cut themselves off from the main cities or the government itself. How does that work exactly? That's like people going to the grocery store and saying, well, the store just stocks itself. Oh yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, where's your logic there? Just think about it for a sec. No, no, that's beyond them. Beyond them. Yeah.
Well, see, that's where you go into some of the military situations and things like that. And you have to realize when you go to a point and past that point, you don't totally come back. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that.
I've seen it
Calling it.
with farm animals a lot. When they get a taste for blood, you'll never get that taste out of their mouth. You know?
Yeah, I know you've mentioned that a few times, and I understand what you're saying. I just think like it's like anything else. Once we get to the very bottom of this fucking roller coaster, things will start to balance out again. It won't be the end of civilization as we know it or the end of fucking humanity. Maybe the drop back. We probably will see cities that are fucking nothing but ghost towns.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. These urban jungles, they'll eat each other. They'll consume each other from the inside out.
Yep.
And everything around them will become like it'll be just like a plague spreading through fucking grass, you know what I mean? Where it starts as a small circle and just spreads out and kills everything. It'll go on for a long time. But
You can look at it like movies. I Am Legend,
mm,
Book of Eli, and things of that nature. It will be just become a rogue wasteland for a while.
oh yeah. Well, and the beauty is that nature does reclaim itself, you know what I mean? Like look at Pripyat, right? The Chernobyl fucking accident there. Yes, it's a radioactive wasteland. People had to evacuate, and nature just moved right back in to take it over. You
Yep.
know, and that's let's just hope and pray that when we are done fucking slaughtering each other and destroying our environments around us, that there's something left to take over. You know what I mean? And it's not just a complete fucking radioactive wasteland. The earth will heal itself with or without us. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I've told everybody. This Earth, we're just an amoeba on this
Mm-hmm.
Earth. We think we're all that in a bag of chips, genetic engineering, things of that nature. We're just an amoeba. Well,
Yeah.
really, if you want to look at the universal aspect of it, we're an amoeba. We're nothing. This Earth can snap its fingers and we're
Oh, and we're
extinct.
gone. We're gone.
Yeah.
We're gone. It's happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've seen fucking what four extinctions in our Earth's history.
Was
Not
it?
not that we've seen it. We're actually one of the end byproducts of the last one. But if it does happen to where we finally get to the point of wiping ourselves out, the Earth will bounce back.
Yeah.
Life always finds a way, and that's the upside, I guess, at the end of it. Something else will take our place. But brother Indy and everybody, I think I'm going to shut her down. Indy, if you'd like to stay in the chat, we can talk in the background after. But I'm going to kind of kill this at 2 hours, and I want to thank everybody for coming. The PayPal is still linked. If we want to throw in a couple bucks, I'd highly appreciate it. And I'm hoping maybe we can get Eric's mom some flowers or something for coming on. I thought that was great of her, and
She was cool.
she was cool. Unfortunately, their connection wasn't good, but great conversations, guys. And we will pick this up again as soon as we have more information on the Texas thing. And we're going to do what we can to help out, and we will get over this. We'll get through it. I really hope it fucking gets better before it gets worse. But I
Stay
don't expect it.
vigilant. Stay vigilant and stay safe.
Amen, brother. Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening this whole time. But we are going to call it. So, good night, and we will see you on the next one.